Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to this Wednesday afternoon, August 13th. Looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So right off the bat, let's talk about something that we really haven't mentioned. Right? We have an inside week up that's paying handsomely, very handsomely in all three of these indices. We have all-time highs in ES and NQ again. The Dow coming within about 150 points of their all-time high. But the big winner, righty, this has been spectacular for 2 days. Remember, 5 distributions yesterday, price probe. Not once did they stop one time framing up. Today, gap higher. B went higher. C took out B's low, but that doesn't mean they were one time framing down, just brought it back to balance. And then one time framed up the entire day again with a double distribution day and another price probe. First off, they have a price spike in K above H and a price probe in M. This is really impressive. So that means, right, there's a possibility of one time framing up 12 time frames in a day. So in 2 days, NQ at righty out of 24 time frames has not one time frame down once. And they've one time framed up in 22 out of the 24. Look where their volume pocket is at the highs of the day. Remember, they were in balance on those all 3 time frames, and we said we have to see how do they come out of this balance. Oh boy, we getting that picture. Daily up, weekly inside week up, monthly balance, but potential again as they go higher outside month up. So they were a better play today than ES or NQ in after the early part of the day in ES and NQ. NQ goes out very differently from ES. NQ goes out with a trend day down and a 10 wide POC, but it's still a B shape. ES goes out with just a 9 wide POC. They took back their trend day, and it's a B shape. The Bears won 6-2 in NQ's checklist sheet. ES, the Bulls won 3-2. ES ended up with totally higher value again today. NQ overlapping to higher. NQ, to me, this is some consolidation took place. But I'll tell you what's impressive about NQ, look at this. We came down to the low end of the upper distribution yesterday. D, G, H, K never got into the singles. Never got into them. They held all 3 distributions. ES, I didn't count the base of this price probe. I said it was too small. Well, I'll tell you what, it came into play because, look, all we did was get to the top of it. And they go out with a poor low. These poor lows, poor highs in ES are utterly incredible. Utterly incredible how they've been money makers over the years, especially the poor lows. It really has been amazing. Now, SPY was a little different. They don't have a poor low, and they only ended 8 wide. I did have a good day, mostly in the morning. I started out in A period in NQ with some longs, some ebb and flow longs that were paying. I believe it or not, when B first took out A's low, I didn't think we would go trend down that early with the market so strong. So I actually took a long when B took out A's low. Now, I did get paid on it. I did, but that was it. We had a highest accepted price in B period. NQ opened and drove straight down. ES did not. Another definite nuance between the two. So after that, I just started looking for shorts. I shorted NQ to fill the gap. I shorted NQ to get the day's low, the IB low, but then I longed the IB, I longed the base of the price probe, which I got paid on. It bounced off it the first time. And then the market kind of dried up. Yes, D pushed down. I didn't do anything in D. There's a lot of CD going on, even though they were holding trend. I took one long in E, thinking we'd stop the one-time frame, and I ended up losing on that. And then I shorted G to go make a new low on the day. And I shorted J which at the time was the afternoon rally high, which obviously got taken out in M period. So it was a decent day overall. No home runs or anything like that. But again, I think we saw the day well. We've been seeing the market well. I'll tell you one thing. We've been keeping the trading room focused, right? Front sight focus. Just ignore the noise out there with people saying it can't go higher. Ignore the noise every time the market decides to come in and they blame headlines. The market's going to do what it wants to do. Right now, this market's continuing to go up. Even with the ugly intraday, especially in NQ, has anything changed yet? No, absolutely nothing. Now, there are two things that we could talk about that could give any bears remaining out there some hope. Number one, the all-time high is now officially in regular trading hours. And number two, we do have excess at the all-time high. Excess ends one, auction begins another. Well, on the shorter time frame, that certainly worked today, did it? Right? Excess went down. Excess, and we came in. But will that excess hold longer than today? That remains to be seen. The first thing you have to do to have any hope of that excess holding for any period of time is what? You got to put the daily back to balance. We're up 8 days in a row. Right? These are the things you have to look for. Now, I'm not surprised if ES and NQ trade sideways to down a bit if righty continues what they're doing. Right? It makes sense. Money's going to flow into the small caps. It's going to flow out of or not flow into as much into the S&P and the righty and the NQ. Right? Makes sense. That doesn't mean they're going to go down. I just feel if righty is going to attempt to make an all-time high at some point, that's what's going to happen. So that's just something to keep in mind. But for now, the bigger picture has not changed at all. Okay? At some point, the people who keep trying to pick tops, and believe me, there's always a new batch because you can never outlast the market. So if you're trading your own money trying to fight it, you're dead. If you're trading prop accounts, you're blowing up account after account after account. Why don't you at least wait for the daily to come back into balance? We have inside weeks up that have blown the cover off the cover off the ball. Trade what's in front of us. Okay? Now chart wise. Now I'm leaving early Friday. I'm not going to be doing a recap of the week. But here's your monthly. We keep getting extension and distance away from prior month's highs, right? That's bullish. Incredibly bullish. This is the S&P. Here's the weekly. Inside week up, we're up. And the daily, 8 days in a row. Now, our volume's only 59 million. We're going to do 60, 61. It's below average, right? But we're still getting some distance, even though we had a pretty small range. Now, NQ is going to look exactly the same. So let's go to the Russell. Their monthly is going to be balanced regardless this month. Okay? The balance high will be whatever this month's high is. But they do have a potential of an outside month up, even though it's only halfway through the month. The weekly exploded out of an inside week. And the daily, 41 million. Again, way above average percentage-wise, 2 days in a row. And they held the gap. So the market is still strong. The Dow missed an all-time high. What's our high today? 949. The high is... They missed an all-time high by 120 points. Is the Dow going to go get an all-time high at some point? I really do believe so, yes. So, again, stop looking for tops. Trade what's in front of us. And just keep doing that. Anyway, I hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Have a good night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.